Dear friends, welcome to yet another installment of Strategic Power. In this video, we analyze the growing conflict between NATO and Russia, exploring the military might of both sides, including their nuclear arsenals and attack and defense capabilities. We also discuss the socioeconomic impact of a possible war, with the economies of Russia and Europe facing difficulties. After all, how dangerous is this power play between the world's major powers? Are you ready to better understand this complex geopolitical situation? Watch to the end and find out. A global conflict between the major world powers is getting closer. On one side we have NATO, composed of 32 member countries, led by the United States and France. On the other side there is Russia, the largest country in the world, and one of the most significant military powers in history. Tensions between these groups only increase due to the exchange of provocative statements, where each one underestimates the other. However, this escalation of hostilities should not be the way forward. In the year 2021, NATO's military contingent was 3,082,000 members. Today, this number exceeds 3,500,000, with the inclusion of Sweden, which reinforces NATO's imposing presence near the Russian borders, just 210 kilometers from the nearest border. In addition, 3 NATO member countries are nuclear powers: the United Kingdom, France, and the United States. This might explain statements such as France's about sending troops into conflicts, considering that NATO has sufficient capacity to sustain such action. The United States is the NATO country with the largest nuclear arsenal, with 5,550 warheads, second only to Russia globally. Within the alliance, the United Kingdom has 225 warheads, while France has 290. These strategic weapons are also available at US bases in Italy, 35 warheads, Turkey, 20, and in countries like Belgium, Germany, and the Netherlands, 15 each. The figures regarding NATO's arsenal are impressive and demonstrate the strength of the alliance. On the other hand, Russia has the world's largest arsenal of nuclear weapons, making its power something that must be taken very seriously. A Russian medium-range missile can travel up to 5,500 kilometers. If we draw a line through the middle of Russian territory, this means it could reach practically all of Asia, including countries like Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea, and cover approximately half of Europe. In addition, many Russian military bases are strategically located near Europe, such as the Southern Military District, the Western Military District, and the Northern Military District, all of them bordering European countries. At the opposite end of the country, we find the Anodyar District, where the 50th Coastal Defense Regiment, a Russian military base in Siberia, is located, which is the farthest from the country. If we consider the range from here, practically all of North America could be reached. This is the medium range of a Russian missile, 5,500 kilometers, but within Russia's vast arsenal, there are many different capabilities and much greater ranges, such as the case of the Satan II, with an operational range of 16,000 kilometers, capable of reaching practically anywhere in the world from Moscow, the Russian capital. This demonstration of Russia's nuclear power emphasizes how catastrophic an imminent war between these powers could be. It is clear that both NATO and Russia would be prepared for different scenarios, and defense systems cannot be underestimated. NATO's missile defense systems work through a network of sensors and interceptors. Initially, the sensors detect the missile launch and monitor its trajectory. Then, NATO's defense systems calculate the trajectory and determine the best way to intervene, while alerting the likely impact areas to notify national authorities as soon as the threat is identified. The most appropriate interceptor is then prepared to neutralize the missile. In addition, NATO has the Trident II-D5, a submarine-launched ballistic missile that can carry up to 8 warheads of 475 kilotons to a maximum distance of 7,600 kilometers. This means that from the seas off Alaska, it would be easy to reach the city of Moscow, about 6,000 kilometers away. Another nearby operator is the United Kingdom, which also has the ability to launch from the western side of Russian territory. In addition to the military aspect, the socioeconomic situation is also a cause for concern. The Russian economy is no longer as robust as it was during the Soviet era. In the year 1990, the nominal GDP of the Soviet Union was $2,700 billion, surpassing the GDP of each individual European Union country. Currently, both the Russian economy and European economies are stagnant. mainly due to the aging European population and economic stagnation that has occurred since 2008. This highlights how terrible a war on this continent would also be in economic terms. The graph shows the European Union economy in terms of nominal GDP in 2008 totaling $16.3 trillion. After ups and downs, the European Union recorded only growth to $17 trillion in 2021, an increase of just $1 trillion over 13 years. On the Russian side, the economic situation is not much better. The Russian economy peaked, going from $1.2 trillion to $2.3 trillion, but currently these numbers are lower. Since the start of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, there has been economic isolation from the West, which has led to approximately 1,000 companies leaving Russian territory, resulting in a loss of $17 billion. Before tensions between countries, direct investment from the European Union, as well as Australia and Switzerland, amounted to at least $288 trillion. This emphasizes that underestimating a war in that region would be a grave mistake. Neither economy is at its peak currently, and in many cases, they are quite fragile. That is precisely why both Russia and Western economies should not underestimate the possibility of a conflict in that region.